It's been more than a year. You mentioned a few months before you appeared before this committee. It's been more than a year since you last appeared before this committee. What specific achievements are you most proud of during that time?
Well, I think we've had, as I said in my opening remarks to you, the things I would single out. I think it has been very important to get a clear understanding of how the relationship between the United States and the rest of the world is going to work, and to be as useful as we can in helping to make sure that the incoming American president shares as far as possible the priorities that we think are necessary. And I would single out, I think, the JCPOA, which is not dead, very far from it, and we intend to keep it alive. I'd mention the commitment to Article 5 of NATO, which is extremely valuable and reassuring for everybody on this side of the Atlantic.
You said earlier, I'm not sure whether this was one of the moments when you were being humble or not, but you said that you thought that one of your great achievements this year was making sure that the incoming president shares our values.
I don't think, with great respect to and if I can go back to sort of Uriah Heep mode here, Mr. Bryant, I don't think that I said that.
You did.
I don't think with the greatest, I think no power on earth would enable me to help make it possible to get the President of the United States to conform identically to UK policy in every respect. That is not going to
No, but you said about share our values.
I certainly think that we've made progress in getting our friends in Washington, and they are our friends. I mean, this is very important to understand that whatever happens, the United States is our most important ally. It is absolutely critical for our future collectively that we maintain very close. We remain very close to the United States. I do think we've had some progress.
But the implication of what you're saying is, and I understand this, that you feel you have to negotiate your way around the new president, that he's not fully signed up to British values or to British foreign policy objectives. And I note that you then elided into our friends in America. Does that mean that you find a way round the president?
Clearly, it's very important for us as a country to engage with the United States at all levels.
George W. Bush has said of the present political situation in the United States of America under Donald Trump that we've seen nationalism distorted into nativism. And I just wonder whether that's your perception, in particular since though we obviously want to do some kind of free trade deal with the United States of America, the US government has now proposed 300% tariffs on Bombardier C-series aircraft. They don't believe in free trade at all, do they?
Well, clearly the Bombardier decision is one that we regret, and we've been clear with both with Boeing and the Commerce Department and indeed all levels of government that our displeasure at that decision. We don't think it's right, we don't think it's fair, we don't think it's reasonable for Bombardier. You asked a question, Mr. Bryant, about our ability to do a free trade deal with the United States. And what is certainly true is the Americans drive a very hard bargain. We should be under no illusions. Anybody with any experience of dealing with the US will tell you that they will try to be very tough. But I haven't met a single US congressman, senator who wasn't very enthusiastic about a free trade deal.
Can I just check the kind of timing of such a possible deal? Because I think some people have been talking about having something in place for the end of March 2019, or for that matter with any other country in the world. That's not legally possible, is it?
No, that's right.
So there will have to be a transition period.
No, just to be clear, it's not legally possible to begin formal negotiations on a free trade deal whilst we have the duty of sincere cooperation, as you know, with our European friends.
So what we
can do is look at it in principle, but look at the opportunities. We can scope it out. We can pencil it in, but we cannot ink it in.
But with other countries where we already have a free trade deal through the EU, those will lapse, presumably, at that date, and then there'll be a lacuna?
That's right. But no, there won't be a lacuna, but they will certainly, the objective is to make sure that they are grandfathered on.
How will that happen?
That's a matter for negotiation and discussion by DEXU, but we're confident that that can be achieved, because it's after all in the commercial interests of both sides.
But at the moment it's legally impossible.
Well, it's part of the negotiations.
Foreign Secretary, if we're outside the European Union, why would it be legally impossible to discuss and agree free trade agreements?
No.
Surely that's what we campaign for.
Sorry, forgive me.
Surely we should be able to do that. What should restrict us from having free trade agreements post-March into
nothing at all. But sorry, perhaps I should have made myself clearer. We can't, as a matter of law, under the duty of sincere cooperation we have with our friends and partners, we cannot do free trade deals, we can't formally negotiate free trade deals now. We can, of course, get them ready, we can pre-cook them, we can think about them in great detail.
But from the 29th of March 2019,
licking our lips, we can meditate on them, but we cannot salivate over them, but we cannot do them. We have to wait until 2019 before the formal presentation. And what we are saying is that if, as the Prime Minister has said, we want to have an implementation period.
Just on Russia, is it your belief that the Russians have played any role in British elections and referendums?
I haven't seen any evidence of that.
You seem uncertain about whether you've seen it or you haven't.
No,
is this another of your confirm or can't confirm?
I can confirm to you, Mr. Brown, that I don't think I've got.
Mr. McDonald has written
no.
So you don't think
no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen not a sausage yet.
And you don't. So you don't think the Russians played any role or sought to play any role in the elections?
I don't know about sought to play, but I think as far as I know, they have played no role.
Are Foreign Office officials helping Robert Mueller's investigation, and if they are made any requests, will they do so?
We will be. I've not had any requests. We haven't had any requests, but obviously we'll be as obliging as we.
Quite a few of the people involved are British.
That doesn't necessarily mean the British government is involved.
I don't think we've had any requests thus far.